This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And here we are, March the 16th, 2022. You know what? Just give it another couple of weeks, folks, and we might be out of winter. And then the snow stuff. We hadn't had too bad a winter here so far. Anyway, folks, I have an independent filmmaker on the show today, courteous of Scott the Icon Helmsrest. And I hooked this up just last night. So, folks, I give you James Bessinas. How do you do, James?
Doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. I like your background. You got a lot of activity going on back there.
Yes, sir. I've got a lot of equipment for prepping for film and building our own electrical equipment and stuff like that. So,
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So, I would like to start off by giving you or asking you a little bit about your background and what led you to filmmaking.
no problem. I went to school for film, TV, radio, audio engineering, and game design. So I've got four different degrees per se. And I was working theater, doing audio and stuff like that. My main goal was to get into film making. And in the process, I also do some acting. I got into a conference for actors and was talking to a talent agent. And they had a great idea for making this TV series. And I said, I'm going to do that. So I started making the TV series, brought in an actor who knew Scott and introduced me to Scott. And we talked, did a radio broadcast with him about the TV series that I was doing. He loved the idea. We started moving forward. Unfortunately, we had an issue with my director of photography. So we are going into a remake and process of all that. And I got a new writer, basically what it was. And so he's remaking the whole series for me. While we put that on the back burner, I came up with a great film that I would want to work on. Got really excited about it. Talked to Scott. He got on board really excited and said, I need to talk to you because he wanted me to meet with you and maybe between you and him, we could promote the movie, get a lot of interest in it.
Okay, who's the actor that connected you with Scott?
It was McTeague.
Okay, don't know that name, but Scott reached out to me for an interview, and I was really shocked when I heard from him, and we've been in talks ever since. So that's interesting. Anyway, let's talk about the film that you are currently making. What's the name of it, and what's it about?
It's called America's Song. It is
Okay.
basically how the Star Spangled Banner was written.
Okay.
Back in, after the Revolutionary War, the British weren't too happy that we declared independence, and they started attacking our ships as we were doing our commerce with France. We didn't really appreciate it. So we started arguing in Congress about how we needed to, what we need to do with the British. And in 1812, we decided to declare war against them, which a lot of people were scared about because British was the main power during that period of time. And we were just a small upstart country that was just a thorn in their side pretty much. And we declared war. And what got the British really mad at us is that we attacked Canada. And we no one won because we weren't trained well enough, and you guys were strong enough to stop us. So we actually had a draw. Well, British decided they were going to come in and quell our rebellion, I guess is the best way to describe it. And we ended up going through a 2-year battle. And consequently, Dr. Beans was captured, and Francis Scott Key and Colonel Skinner went out to negotiate his release. That's when the British decided they wanted to bomb Baltimore, at Fort McHenry at Baltimore. And they successfully negotiated the release, but they had to wait till after the bombing before they could get off the ship. And that's when Francis Scott Key saw the 25 hours of bombing, and yet Fort McHenry never fell, and our flag was still flying. So the British slinked away, and he wrote the national anthem that we have today.
Okay, I never heard of this before. Anyway, talk about the production of this film. You're directing and writing, I take it, right?
I had the idea because I watched the the Star Spangled Banner on YouTube, where a guy decided to do a dramatic story about it. I was like, wow, that sounds really amazing. I checked the history on it. The history on it wasn't accurate. So I said, I want people to know the accurate story of this. So I decided to write it. I've got 2 biographies. In fact, here's my biographies right here on Francis Scott Key, in which I am using to write the script. I've got my writer for my TV series who proofread it, got one of my sisters who are good with English. She's going to proofread it. And I've got my assistant director who's got well over 14 years of experience in filmmaking. She knows everybody that I need for photography, for lighting, everything I need. And she is willing to help me and find people to work within our budget, which is one of my main things that I'm trying to do, is trying to raise the money for this right now. And we are, once I get that written, I'm going to take my vision with hopefully finances that we raise, and be able to put it onto film. And my biggest goal is that I want it to be equal or greater to the quality that Hollywood puts out. And that way it builds the interest. Plus, then we've got all these people who want to, I guess, tear down the America, saying that we're all racist and that the flag's racist and everything. And that's one of my biggest motivations on this, is that I want people to know the truth about our flag and about our country. Where a country isn't necessarily racist, it's the people that are in the country that are racist. And if there's laws that are made that are racist, then those are things we can fight against. But we don't, in America, we don't have laws that are racist. In fact, we got totally the opposite. We put in laws into place. And that's my whole point of this movie, is I want people to see that country is not racist. They may be people in the country that are racist, but as a majority, we're not racist people.
Yeah, I see your point. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you can't paint everybody with the same brush. Do you have what's the casting like for this? Do you have any notable people in it? What's that process like?
Well, as of right now, I've only gotten one person that I've talked to about a part in there. I've just talked to some singers for the singing of the national anthem in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
We're not at the point yet to actually start getting actors yet. We've got to get our budget, because that will tell us how notable of actors we will be able to get.
Okay. Okay. Well, upon Scott the Icon bringing you up to me, I looked up your IMDb. Now you've got your hands in everything, like you're listed here as a producer, actor, casting director, stunts,
Mm.
visual effects, sound department. I mean, you're involved in so many parts of your productions.
Right. Well, I figured if I'm going to own a production company, I need to know how to do all that stuff.
Oh,
Because
well, yep.
we get bigger and I can actually hire my own people, I want to be able to see if they're doing it right, if they're not doing it right. So it's best that I know everything.
What's your favorite thing to do?
Well, that's kind of tough. I mean, I got to, I guess I like doing the acting part just because I get to be somebody different.
Uh-huh.
Uh, like uh, when I was on the Westworld set, uh, I got to do some background work with them. I was a gangster starting off, but by the time we finished that episode of Westworld, I was a police officer. So, I mean, I got to be versatile, got to play different parts and be different parts. That was kind of fun. It was just being able to do that. But I also like being able to make stuff too. That the visual effects part, being able to take just raw footage and then add stuff to it to make it look like a whole bunch of stuff's going on that wasn't necessarily put into the film until I put it in there. So I mean, there's each one has its bonus and benefits that I really really love.
Okay. Well, looking at your credits, talk about Operation Resist. I
Mhm.
want to hear about this.
That was my first film that I got to work with. It was weird how and interesting how I ended up meeting the director producer of that film. I got done with my audio engineering school and had to go into an internship program.
Mm-hmm.
Out to a studio and said, "Hey, I'm an intern. I would like to intern for you."
Mm-hmm.
Well, what ended up happening was is I sent that message to the wrong person. I didn't realize I did that. Well, this guy who directed and produced the film reached back out to me and said, "Hey, yeah, well, I'd love to have you design some audio for me." So I went out, I recorded a whole bunch of stuff that he gave me a list to, designed any audio that was something I couldn't necessarily record directly, and gave it to him. And I said, "Hey, you know what? Let me come out and film for you, or work with you on the film." And so I came out and worked with him as the lead audio, and um, leading up to that, he sent out an audition to everybody, I guess, in his cast and crew. And I think he accidentally sent it to me. So I just auditioned anyway. And he's like, "Well, you didn't tell me you could act." It's like, "I'm going to put you in the movie now, too." And I was like, "Okay." So I got to play a Nazi soldier in that show. And I did audio. And then because he saw that I was versatile in a lot of things, I ended up working with a lot of the antique cars that we had in the show, and uh, did uh, doubles for the one of the actors in there, and did some stunt driving for him and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. It was a huge thing for me to be able to do all this stuff, and of course, looks good on my resume.
Talk about doing stunts.
uh, the in this aspect, it wasn't anything really dangerous. It was just basically having to speed down the road, do some chases and stuff like that. And it was of course, with the way that we do things, we want to make sure everything's done safely. So we, you know, block traffic and make sure that there's nothing that's going to hinder or get in the way to cause any injuries. But it was basically, we just took a strip of road and we just speed down the road. Have got another section where we had some corners and curves, and we went shot those scenes, and then some intersections, and just broke it up that way so that we kept it safe. But made it look like it was one continuous chase in the movie. So it was a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, the plot sounds interesting. Tell our listeners what Operation Resist is about.
One of the purposes for the movie being made was because there was a couple of cities on the East Coast that decided they were going to take the Holocaust out of the history books because they were saying that's fake news. That never really happened.
Oh my goodness.
He decided to make a movie to talk about real people that you can actually search on the internet and see that there was a Holocaust and that it really did happen. And then we told the story of the Holocaust. And this was a story about a family that actually harbored Jews to help get them out of harm's way, and a story of a girl that actually escaped with her life. Her mom and dad got killed by the Germans. I believe one of her brothers did too. I can't remember, but her and one of her other brothers did escape, and they got to live to tell the story. And that's the story we told. And we got to highlight, I think, 5 different people that had an impact in history on about the Holocaust.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay. How long did it take you to make this film?
The shooting portion, we did a couple of days prior to our scheduled film dates, and then when we actually filmed it, it took us 2 weeks to shoot it,
Mm-hmm.
and it took about, I want to say, a year of post production.
Mm-hmm.
The producer director decided he was going to do all the post production himself because he was very paranoid about someone stealing his film. So, and so it took him about a year of editing and doing all the post production work, and then he got it put on Amazon. So
Okay. Okay. So the film was well received?
it seemed like we did get some people that gave negative reviews, but it is an independent film, and it wasn't totally Hollywood quality, but I mean it still tells the story. It was pretty good. Still got the effects of the story and what we were trying to tell, and I think it was pretty well done for my first movie, and
Mm-hmm.
is that he'd done in a long time. He actually said that he hadn't made a movie in like 10 or 15 years prior to that. So he had to catch up on technology and everything, but it was still done pretty well. So
Look at that. Skittles is joining us. Skittles is joining us. Yes. Do you have a kitty?
I have 1 cat and 4 dogs, a hamster, and a fish.
See that, Kitty? Kitty says he's got this place all to himself except for me. Yeah.
Well,
He's
I've got 3 kids and they love our animals, so got to keep them busy.
Yeah. Skittles just stays here for free. He freeloads. Yeah.
Well, our cat does too. Our dogs work and give us an income because we breed them, but the cat gets the free load because of it.
Yeah. My cat's a rescue, so got him here and he stays here with me. A lot of people like it when I stick him on camera here whenever I only been doing the Zoom since last year, because when our station went into lockdown, I wasn't able to do this anymore. And this has become so convenient because I can just do this at the apartment. So yeah, I like that idea. Yeah,
Makes it easy.
absolutely.
Plus, with gas being so high, you don't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Now you were part of a TV series, 2021. Says there are 2 episodes, Unsuspected. Would you like to tell us about that?
That's the TV show that I was telling you about. We were originally, I had a writer that was working on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Because COVID hit, he ended up having to work more hours at his job, so
Mm-hmm.
he was unable to write. At about the same time, we shot the pilot, and my director of photography decided he wanted to do his own thing. He didn't want to listen to me,
Mm-hmm.
which not a good thing when you're filming a film. You got a director for a reason. And all his shots were just really bad. And that was my mistake, because when I hired him, he said he was a photographer for films. He helped me get my pictures for my stills. He said he wanted to get into cinematography. I
Mm-hmm.
asked him, I was like, "How good are you at it?" And he's like, "I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good." So I was like, "Okay, we'll use you then." Well, he wasn't as good as he advertised, and he wanted to hand hold the camera all the time. And
Oh.
one of the things that I learned when I went through film school is that whenever you can, put your camera on sticks or on a dolly, put it somewhere where it's going to be stable. Because holding it by hand, you're not going to keep it stable. And I told him that, and he's like, "No, no, I've got a steady hand. I can do it." I'm like, "No, you won't. You're not going to do it." And he said, "No, I can do this." And so, okay, let's hope that this will turn out good. And we did the first day of shooting, and found out that he wanted to do his own thing. And I ended up having a few different arguments with him about saying, "No, this is what we need to do. I am the director. This is what I want." And he's like, "You're not working with me here. This is not good." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let's see what you can come up with." Well, it turned out not to be very good. Later on, I talked to him. I was like, "You really screwed me on this one, because I can't use this, and my pilots, I wasted people's time, wasted money. Everything's been a waste because you said you could do something that you can't."
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I put it on. Uh, I put an advertisement out on Facebook for a new writer, and I met this guy, and he's absolutely amazing. He took the pilot that we had that was about 30 minutes. He turned it into a 2 hour pilot, and he had taken what was kind of a simple script and made it into a complex script that has a lot of action and a lot of angles and stuff like that. And it's going to be exciting once we actually finally shoot it. Again, as I said, I put it on the back burner because he wants to complete all 12 episodes before we start shooting the pilot, which makes sense because when we pitch it to a investor, they're going to want to see the scripts and everything.
Okay. All right. Yeah, film is a collaborative effort, and everybody's got to be on the same page. So, yeah, I see your point.
Right.
So, when are you going to start on your current project about the Star Spangled Banner?
We have started working towards raising funds. I've got a company called uh, From the Heart Productions.
Mm-hmm.
They're working towards giving me all kinds of information about approaching different companies, and they're working towards finding companies for me and helping me find companies to pitch to. I have a second person who's doing local fundraisers for me. In May 30th, we're supposed to have a veterans memorial slash fundraiser, and I'm gonna do a 30-second to 1 minute skit and then pitch the show to the investors that are there, and see if we can get some interest. And then we're going to set up an event, maybe a dinner or something, where we're going to bring them in and talk about the movie and see if we can get them to invest. Then Scott's going to start pitching to people on the radio, and then he's also going to set up a GoFundMe page. I also got another fundraising page where people can buy T-shirts, and then another page where From the Heart Production has set up for me for fundraising.
Okay, give those websites out here so that people that are interested can check it out.
The page where you can buy the t-shirt is customink.com/fundraising/Americas-song-fundraising.
Mhm.
Then the from the Heart production is lamps.we-did-it.it/campaigns/America-s-song-fundraising. I know those are kind of long URLs, but that's what we got there. And
Okay.
I don't know about the one that Scott's setting up. He's working on that. So
Okay, talk about your first connection with Scott. You said an actor had a fellow actor had put you in touch with him. I take it you guys have connected verbally.
mm,
Okay. Yeah, he's quite a guy. I don't know when he ever sleeps. He told me that like I work nights, like at least right now, and he told me last night, he said, "Give me a call tomorrow night. We'll keep each other awake." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, you know, hopefully I'll be home long before." But no, he's got a pretty interesting show, and it was kind of a surprise when he reached out to me for an interview. So I said, "Sure." Anyway, but yeah, he's got some interesting people behind his show and interesting connections. So you're on his show Monday?
that's right. He reached out. Well, I reached out to him yesterday, pitched the show to him so that he knows what I'm working on. Because I wanted to give him an update about Unsuspected, that we put it on the back burner until the scripts are written. And he and I got on the phone yesterday. We talked about it. He's really excited about this show and how we can use it to educate American people and hopefully people around the world about our song and the truth about America and its foundation. When we were making Unsuspected, about halfway through the show, a talent agent reached out to me and told me that they had actors that were available if I needed it. And I told him, I said, I'm a zero budget film right now. If you got some people that would be willing to do it for free, then we could do it. So she put out a casting call. We got a dozen people that came out. One of them was, can't remember the first name, but the last name McTeague. And his son uh, came out to be a extra for the show. And in the process, he told me, he says, "Hey, I know a guy that I used to work for me. His name is Scott, and I'm going to put you in touch with him." And through that, Scott reached out to me and we talked, and he put me on his show. And that was a fun time. I got to spend, I think, about 45 minutes on a show just talking about the show and talking to his co-hosts there and everything. It was a lot of fun.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, you know what? It was great having you come on here and talk about this. Scott had connected me with you yesterday.
Mm.
Actually, he called me while I was asleep. I said, "Scott, could you call me at work tonight? And where I'm a little more alert." Like I said, I don't know when he sleeps.
Right.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does. But me, I have to. But like I said, your background tells me that you're a very busy guy, so you got a lot of equipment back there, and I really hope that this goes well for you. Um, and yes, for those who want to check out um, James's films, check out Operation Resist. That looks very interesting, and support this new film. Song and we can revisit history and get an accurate portrayal. I did not know that background for it, so there I learned something today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I've been finding. That's the reason why I wrote this, because I ask people and they're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So,
Mm-hmm. There you go. Anything else you want to plug and promote on here before we close off?
no, I sent you the links to those fundraisers. So if you want to spread them and share them, and so that your listeners can see them, because I know that the URLs that I gave to you guys over the air probably are long and no one.
You know what? I can do that too, and I know others that would be happy to share them as well. So, absolutely, absolutely.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, best of luck to you on this project. Um, we always got to support our independent filmmakers because when you don't have a studio backing you, it could become a process, a difficult struggle to get your film made. So you got a great idea behind your film, and you're obviously putting a lot of thought into creating something that's not mainstream, but something that has got some historical appeal. So fantastic. That's good for you. All right. Well, you know what? It was wonderful having you come on here today. Special shout out to Scott the Icon Helmsrest from holy cow, am I screwing up? Oh yeah, Attitude Era Live. Sorry, Scott. Attitude Era Live. You're going to enjoy doing his show, and so we look forward to that. And when this is ready, I'll send you the link, and you can post it and put it up wherever you want to.
Awesome.
All right. So we bid you luck. Sing your song and get that made. And absolutely. So you take care and God bless.
You too. Thank you.
Absolutely. Bye bye.